Okay, so this video today is actually for an Arachnoboards user by the name of Rob3, I think. Yes, that's how he wants it pronounced. I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, I just read your post about wanting to know about Ethmostigmus trigonopodus blue ring from Tanzania, actually, is their origin. That was a question you had asked, and you asked their care. It is very actually simple. Believe it or not, they're a really docile centipede species. I find they're actually one of my favorites by far. Now these things, they like I said, they come from Tanzania, so you're gonna need to keep them in a somewhat drier enclosure. I'm gonna add a video, or not a video, a link on your Arachnoboards post of the climate, like as far as humidity, annual rainfall, and temperature in Tanzania. But as a basic rule, you can keep these guys year round between like 70 degrees and 85 degrees maximum, but I don't keep them that hot. I like to keep them pretty cool. So I keep them like right around 70, 75 degrees, and I keep it there. They do great. They live real healthily at those temperatures. Like I said before, this species tends to be pretty docile and really tolerates handling well. So I'm going to go ahead and pick him up. This is one of my I have lots of these. This is just one of many. But here he is. He's very pretty. He's one of my more beautiful ones. He's dark. He has almost solid blue legs, which can be confusing because he looks a lot like a true blue. He is not a true blue, though. He's just one that I'm going to attempt at some selective breeding to make some better looking Trigonopodus. He is a Tanzania variant, whereas the true blues come from Kenya. But anyways, yeah, so I will also go over, like I said, temperature, keep it between, 70, 75 degrees is what I like. You can go as hot as 85, but try to avoid it. It actually shortens their lifespan when you keep them warmer and give them more food. Some more basic info you need on these guys. I would suggest you have bigger space than what I have here. I actually keep these in Tupperware cups because this is my breeding stock, so they don't stay in here very long. I just started breeding attempts with these guys, so now I got quite a few in these small little containers. But what I usually use is a reasonable sized jar. I get these at Walmart. I want to say this is a 1 gallon, and it houses them really comfortably. But you want to keep the substrate rather deep. I do about 3 inches, and go ahead and do a mixture of mostly sand, and I like to use calcium carbonate sand, but also mix in some plantation soil. I would say do about 1 to 3 parts, maybe a little heavier than that on the sand. 4 parts of sand to 1 part plantation soil. Make sure there's a rock in there. People say you need a watering dish in these guys. I actually haven't ever used a watering dish with my Ethmostigmus. I just make sure I maintain daily every single enclosure. Sometimes I'll put damp paper towels in there, which they can draw moisture off of. Or I'll put this moss, which works great, and I take the moss out and give it a heavy misting at least once a day. I don't keep the enclosures that wet except for during the rainy season, which you will be able to figure out when that is during the year based on the chart that I'll leave on the form for you. Yeah, I mean, I keep a lot of centipedes, so if you ever have any more questions, ask me. And now I'm going to respond to your other post, the African tiger centipede. They're kept a lot like Ethmostigmus. I have one of them up in an enclosure here, but I'm not going to pull it out because they are a little jumpier. They're not necessarily mean. I don't have my African tiger centipedes biting me. They just seem to be a little faster and they run off faster. Whereas Ethmostigmus, as you can see, are real chill centipedes. They are super docile. Anybody who tells you that they're an aggressive centipede must have had I don't know, they must have not been interacting with it correctly, because I have lots of these Ethmostigmus, as I said, and none of them act any differently than this one. They all are very, very calm species. And so, anyway, yeah, so here's your little I guess, care sheet, because there honestly isn't one. I'm sure you've looked online. There's basically not a lot of info on Ethmostigmus at all, other than, you know, they're coming out of Africa and they are pretty. Now, you'll read places that they'll get like 9 inches or even 6 inches, but I find that to not be true at all. A true blue may border 6 inches, but these guys never ever get bigger, for me at least, than about 4.5 inches. I'm gonna set the. He's really trying to, or he's calmed down. I guess he's stopping right there. I'm trying not to let him go up my shirt. But yeah, so I hope this is helpful for you, and you like find it to be exactly what you needed. But yeah, anyway, have a good day.